right.
Welcome back.
Oh,
Yeah, that was a good game, Ohio State. Boy, the Cavs. Whoa,
now
man.
they're fun to watch.
Gee whiz.
They
I
are
mean,
something else.
Friday night, they're playing Golden State. And I figured, well, no, Golden State is not their.
They're not Golden State anymore.
Well, but they
They're getting
well,
old, and they're
yes, but they were 7-1. They
right.
only lost
They're
one
not a
game.
bad team.
No, but they were 7-1, and they hadn't lost a game on the road. And I thought, well, Cleveland.
I thought it was going to be a really good game, but I thought, with the Golden State and their history with Cleveland and all
Right.
of that stuff, that it was going to be a lot closer than it was.
Yes.
Man, they
they
laid the
Oh my God!
took them to the woodshed. It was
but
awesome.
here was the thing about it. They weren't missing. They were shooting 3-pointers.
I can't believe it.
Nobody had over 20 points, but a lot of people had.
Yeah.
And it was so entertaining. Now, then they're still Golden State, because then in the third quarter they started coming back. I thought, uh-oh. And then they just, at the end, turned it right around.
That's what I like. When the teams, they start coming back a little bit.
Yeah, they
Then they flip the switch,
They-
and the defense is
they
unreal.
pull on the defense.
I love watching
defense.
people play defense because
But-
you'd never see it in the NBA anymore.
Yeah.
No. So but here was the thing. They had the defense, and then that got the offense going.
Absolutely.
They fed off of it. So then last night they're playing the
Brooklyn.
Brooklyn Nets. I thought, ooh, oh boy, it was close.
Mhm.
And then it got worse and worse, and
Then at
we're-
the end, boom, boom, boom.
there was. Don't interrupt my story. I got to finish it.
No, my story was
Well,
good.
yeah,
Yours
but
was yours was too verbose.
Yes, it needs to be. We got to fill time.
Oh, no, we don't. We can
Okay.
talk about
So wait a
something
minute.
else.
So, but
How about
they,
Steph Curry's smile at the end?
yeah, right. Yeah, but they were down. I don't know how many points, and I thought, oh well, they can't go undefeated the whole. But long time ago they were 26-0. I'm thinking, how did they go that far? Anyway, but it was like okay, and that other boy, they kept coming back. The other team every time Cleveland would do something, but boy, at the I'd say the last maybe 3 minutes or so, 3.5. Wow, was it exciting?
Mhm.
Geez,
last 2
blocking
minutes.
shots and
Yeah.
it's so much fun to watch. The reason I would have to say, to put it in a nutshell, they kept having an extra pass, which made somebody open. So it was so entertaining to watch. And then they play Chicago twice this week. I think it's Monday, Wednesday, Friday. But it was so entertaining.
I think that coach has a lot to do with it.
He used to work for Golden State.
Yeah, I know. Yeah.
So because I never had heard of him, but boy, I'll tell you what, man, whatever he's doing, he's teaching them how to play.
He's got them going. That's
Boy,
for sure.
Yeah.
you aren't kidding.
Yeah.
So it's so nice since, we have no Browns. I mean,
I think there's actually a plan with that basketball team. You know,
Yeah.
he's got a plan going.
and they kept just about everybody,
yeah.
so they know what to how.
They're still a young team.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but they know when you play with the same team, you know what the other guy is thinking.
Yeah.
And you know where to pass the ball because you know where he's going to go.
Yeah.
So it's just like, continuity. But I'll bet $1 million that the Browns won't lose today.
I bet you.
I
I'll
don't know.
take you up
I might
on that
take that bet.
Okay. No, they're not
Even-
playing.
I know they're not playing.
Even in a bye week, they'll do something to mess up.
Somebody will be hurt.
Yeah.
Oh,
In a
oh,
car accident
Fall off
or
his couch
something,
or
you know.
something.
yeah.
I hurt
So-
my knee falling off the couch.
It was
Yeah.
wet outside, and I tripped on the sidewalk.
Yeah.
So the only possible game that would be
I
worth
hurt
watching.
my finger. you
Yeah,
know.
if Pittsburgh would be playing and they'd be on at 1. But there's nobody since Cincinnati played Baltimore already, so
Well, they
that
got-
won't be on. So that
They
would
got
be
reffed out of that
Yeah.
game, man.
Did they?
It was horrible. They showed a picture. There were 3 face masks on the same play. The Ravens offensive line, 2 of the guys.
When was this?
later in the game. Yeah.
Oh, okay, because
There
I
were
didn't.
two of the guys were illegal hands to the face.
Yeah.
They didn't call anything. The other guy was holding.
Yeah.
They didn't call anything. It was so obvious. It's just
Yeah.
crazy the way it's just like.
Yeah.
eh.
Well, then it'll
I
be.
can understand if you're consistent. You say let them play
Yeah.
on both sides,
Yeah.
but they're not, and
Yeah.
it's so obvious. But whatever.
Yeah. Well, it's.
I watch the Browns. Usually, I'll watch a half and then go fishing. Sometimes I'll watch the
I'll
whole
watch
game.
till it gets to the point where it's useless. And,
Yeah, that's usually by halftime. You know.
Yeah, or a little bit past.
Sometimes it happens a lot sooner.
Yeah. Yeah.
But,
But the.
Well, what's worse than the Browns at this time of the year?
the
Have you hit a deer yet?
no.
Almost yesterday, I saw a
I'll tell
big
you,
one.
I almost hit a couple this morning.
Did you?
On where was it? On Marks Road.
Driving.
I saw some. I thought I saw some as I was turning on Marks Road. There's a little dip in the road there. Then I thought, well, maybe I'm seeing things. And then as I go a little farther down towards the dip, here come a bunch more across the road.
You got to watch.
You gotta really watch. We're
where
in
there's one,
we're in
there's
full fall right now.
Especially if you see a doe that's
we're-
running.
Yeah,
There's a buck
there's more.
chasing.
I saw
There's more behind it.
when I was driving a Mosquito yesterday. I saw a couple deer. The best one was a big 8-point, really heavy, really
Yeah.
thick neck, and
Yeah.
the heavy mass on his antlers. I mean, it
Yeah.
was. But he was standing in the middle of I-76, and it's about 34 degrees outside, and he had his mouth open,
And his
and
hair,
you could
yeah.
see the
Steam.
steam coming out of
Yeah.
his nose
Been
and
a
his
running.
mouth.
Wow.
Oh yeah, he was looking for
Yeah.
his girlfriend,
Yeah.
And,
I saw some.
and there was a semi sort of right in front of me, and he was standing there, and the semi moved over, and then the deer slowly walked up back off the highway, which was good. I hope he
Yeah.
didn't get hit because it was
Yeah.
just a beautiful, beautiful deer.
There was somebody I was talking to. They came up to a bridge on 77 or somewhere, and the deer kept running back and forth and back and forth.
Yeah, they get mixed up.
They get
Yeah.
mixed up, don't know which way to
Well,
go.
we
and-
have less light hours now too, and that makes a big difference.
yeah.
And they're pretty active though all day long.
Yes.
The peak activity. They say I think it's probably between like 5 and 9 p.m. here
Right.
in Ohio.
Right.
But they're
But-
out in the morning, and your chance of hitting a deer in Ohio is 1 in 134.
Really?
That's pretty high.
That's
That-
sure
high
with the amount of
chance.
cars.
we're one of the
The
really
higher
deer vehicle collision
Yeah.
high state, high risk state.
Yeah.
Now, if you're in West Virginia, it's higher than that. When
Well,
you
and they
when
have
you're around
windy roads
Oh, they
too.
have windy roads. They got a lot of deer.
Sure.
Never swerve to avoid an animal. Always put your brakes on it. And these deer in these areas, I hate to seem redundant, and we sometimes seem redundant, but drive slow. And these deer, they're unpredictable. They're gonna swerve.
They'll
They're gonna
dart in
move
front of
back
you.
and forth. They're like a darn squirrel.
Yeah.
They run in any direction. So be very vigilant. Again, in West Virginia, it's 1 in 46
Whoa.
Wow.
chance of hitting a deer. Now, if you don't want to hit a deer, you can live in Hawaii. Your chances there are 1 in 6,379. Now, they didn't give any stats on
They
if you're
probably
going to
only
hit
have-
a. Yeah,
They only have 6,749.
I don't know how many hogs or tourists. They didn't give any stats on that.
They got hogs.
Yeah, they got hogs,
Yeah.
and
They
they
didn't
got
have-
a lot of tourists, but they didn't give any stats on
Yeah.
that. So if you don't want to hit a deer, you can drive in
Yeah, you
Hawaii.
got to be careful. I saw a
But
lot of
be
deer
real,
yesterday.
real careful.
It's prime time. It's
Yeah.
also prime this week. Is probably the prime week for deer hunting too.
and it's the prime week for hitting a deer with a car. So be careful
Yes.
out there, people.
Yep,
Yeah.
the
Don't
cooler
drive fast.
temperatures get them
Yeah.
running.
Yeah, I'm looking at predictions. This week it's going to be 61 day, 47. These are highs. Then in the low 50s, The next week, about the same, a little lower. And then the last of the month, they're talking temperatures, highs in the 40s and lows 32, so 29.
Ooh,
so
maybe some snow.
we can get some snow the week of Thanksgiving.
That'd be nice.
Yes. So
Now you're talking to a guy that's hit 8 deer.
Mm-hmm.
You have?
Yeah.
Wow.
You're the one padding the stats then.
Oh, no kidding. I had that,
Hey.
I've hit
what did
one.
I have? A Suburban. I had an 87 Suburban.
Yeah.
It was two-tone brown. I think it attracted
Deer
deer.
magnet?
It looked like a deer, you know?
I was
I would hit 2 at a time.
I was driving down 71 to a story in a Channel 3 news car with former reporter, investigative reporter Tom Meyer in the car with me. And we were going down 71 to a story in Strongsville. And we were about at just past the turnpike, I think. And we were in the fast lane, and a doe hopped the median right in front of the car. I mean, I had no reaction time.
You don't have any reaction.
And I didn't have time to hit the brakes, and I definitely didn't swerve because there was a semi right next to me. So, and sort of behind. So what happened, T-boned the deer perfectly as she jumped, and the deer flipped and went over the windshield and into the next lane, right under the semi.
Oh.
I mean, it was bad, but the front end was all messed up, and the deer was all messed up. And I was thinking, we should take the deer, tie it to the hood of the news car, take it back to the newsroom for food, because everybody in the media likes when people bring food in.
Yeah.
We could have field dressed the deer for them and grilled, fired up the old grill and had some back straps and.
Just eat it, au tartare.
Oh yeah, no. Maybe that. Yeah, not me, brother.
Okay, well, we got to take a break because we got Good News Keo on the line, and we're going to cook something here. So we'll have a short break, and we'll be back. Don't go anywhere.
Have you ever seen the rain? I won't know. Have you ever seen the rain coming down Sunday?
Whether you're a novice or a well-seasoned angler, if you want that extra edge in catching more fish, you want one of the many species of Kodiak scent. Made from real bait fish, Kodiak fishing scents are made from pure freeze-dried bait. Freeze-drying enhances the scent considerably, making it the most potent fishing scent available to the fishermen today. It comes in many flavors, including shad, crayfish, salmon egg, and the most popular, minnow. Add the paste to your lures, it really sticks. And when a fish hits, it doesn't let go. And if you use tube jigs, try the tube injector. This handy syringe is made especially to be inserted into a tube jig. Kodiak fishing scents are now available online at castaway.com. That's castaway with a K.com. If you want to catch fish, you want Kodiak from Coulis.
Thanks for listening to the Inside the Great Outdoors podcast. If you have any questions, comments, or stories you'd like to share, shoot us an email at jcoulis@castaway.com. That's Castaway with a K. We'll share your comments with our audience on the following week's show. Thanks again for listening to Inside the Great Outdoors.
I go to work from 10:30 until 6 a.m. Breaking up the dimes and quarters, slinging eggs and ham, scrambled poached or over easy, coffee black and strong, jukebox of scratchy records, I play 'em all night long. Eternal blue neon, we never close when the world is asleep. Darling, come take
Hey there, Joe. Yabba dabba doo.
Well, that always makes us at least smile.
Oh yeah.
So
There we go.
that was
sort
good.
of sounding like that. He had a little frog in his throat earlier.
Yeah, not as bad.
Yeah,
but,
yeah.
But I,
Yeah.
but better. So how about you do? How you doing, Joe?
Doing well, and if I could take a moment to address Carl, first condolences on Edwards' passing.
Mhm.
That it was kind of sudden. I know he said that. Oh, I'm back in the hospital. You know,
Yeah.
I thought, oh well, El.
Yeah.
I never met him personally.
Oh, really? Oh.
We were friends on Facebook, and Carl, the little story you put on Facebook, I thoroughly enjoyed it. It kind of, I don't know, I had the sense that he was a decent sort of fella, and that just kind of illustrated that.
And that
He's a
it
good
really
guy.
shows with those guys. And I'd have to say, at least the men that I know, we're all good guys. I don't know about. I've heard things of some of the women, maybe not as friendly. Maybe I don't know. That could be wrong, but
Yeah, Elwood was a good guy. He did a lot of voiceover work and stuff like that, and he knew the
Well, he was the AOL guy,
Yeah.
right? I mean,
the
he was
AOL
out there.
guy was like a friend of his, and had this idea to start up that the whole AOL
So we've all
phenomenon.
heard him, we just didn't. Not all of us knew it was El. Yeah.
Yeah, and he, but yeah, really, really good guy, and he was he had all sorts of cool stories, and with his experiences.
you never
He was
really
from-
mentioned his name.
Elwood Edwards was his name. And,
Wait, say that again.
Elwood Edwards.
Really?
Yep. Who?
I'm talking about Donovan.
No, Jimmy, that's different. This is a different guy.
That's
Another one of my coworkers that passed
Oh,
away.
I missed it.
Yeah, he had about a year or so ago, he had a stroke, and then he had another stroke. It was worse. So
And what did he do at the station?
he was an editor, and
Oh, I missed that.
yeah, but he used to work at the old Channel 23 when I started 30 years ago.
Yeah.
Well, he was there about 25 years ago.
Okay.
But he was the operations manager there.
Yeah.
And but yeah, I told the story of we had a GM that was a real fascist, I guess you might say. And Elwood used to tell me stories about the guy. He would quit taking his meds, so he would get really angry and negative. And
This is the engineer or the big guy,
the general
boss?
manager.
Okay.
And he would fly to different TV stations just to fire people.
Are you kidding?
And yeah, he got his kicks out of it.
Oh boy.
And he used to tell me that, and the guy had a automatic door closer put into his office that he just thought it was the greatest thing ever, that if you got called into his office to get chastised for wearing the wrong color shoes or whatever, he would hit the button on his desk and his door would automatically close. Like it's like he's just a real.
Yeah.
But that's not Elwood. That was the general manager. But Elwood was the exact opposite. Very caring guy. Really, really cared about people. He was a, church-going man, and he was from Berne, North Carolina. That's where he was from, and that's where he was living when he passed. So, he went home to be around family. I know he had family there, and
wow. Oh boy.
really good guy.
Yeah.
Voice of AOL, and it was a pleasure to know him. But that story, it was really bizarre. It was just strange, because the reporter I was with when did the story in the national park with Channel 23, he left the wireless lavalier microphone on the bumper of the car, and he didn't tell me. So I put the gear away after we were done with the story and drove off. No lavalier mic. So I thought we lost it. And I went back and looked and all this other stuff, and I was freaking out because I figured I lost a piece of equipment, so I'm going
Yeah.
to get fired.
Yeah.
And I went and talked to Al about it and was all worried. And he said, don't worry about it. Don't worry about it. And he saw that I was having a rough time.
Yeah.
And he said, let's pray about it. And I'm like, well, whatever. I'm not a religious guy or anything, but I said, anything will help.
Yeah.
So he started praying, and we prayed together. And, you know, it was about 9, 10 years later when he was at Channel 3, I did a story at Channel 3 down in the national park, and it was the same park ranger we had talked to before. And I asked him about I said, you remember that microphone thing? He goes, wait a minute. I think I just saw that in my desk. Somebody,
What?
Yeah, he said like a week later, somebody turned it in,
Oh, my.
but this was 10 years later. So we went back to the ranger's office, and he's digging through his desk, and he goes, is this it? It's like, that was it, the little Sony wireless
Yeah.
microphone. And it was just bizarre. So I took it and went and found Elwood in his edit bay up in Cleveland, and I was like, look what turned up.
Oh, my.
He's like, what is that? He forgot all about it.
Yeah.
And I'm like, this is the
Yeah.
microphone that I was so worried about losing.
Yeah.
And, you know, we pray. He goes, oh, yeah, I remember that. We said a prayer in the office because I
Yeah.
knew you were upset about it. And
And didn't get fired.
and I didn't get fired.
Good.
And the microphone showed up eventually. It was long after Channel 23 went dark and went out of business and
Wow.
got sold off. But it was a really cool thing to happen, and just to share that with the guy and share that with people about, you know, that's just the kind of guy he was. He, you know, the
Yeah.
prayer, you know, it does work.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
See, I told you had nothing to worry about.
yeah,
Wow.
exactly. You know,
Well, can you go quickly? We could
Good
actually.
things happen to good people.
Yes. We could actually continue it if we need to after the break. But you got
Well,
something. Go
I
ahead.
think I do have something, and I posted a link to Hank Shaw's latest tome on cooking your goose,
Yeah. Well,
because you know we're coming up on, and I've never hunted geese anything in any environment other than cut corn stubble,
yeah.
which is a really fun way to,
Oh,
to
yeah.
hunt geese.
Oh, yeah.
Mm.
And then that's usually the best place. But I did that. Well, no, well, if we have time, I'll talk about it. But go ahead.
I've done it
But
with the
you don't
lawn
need as
chair.
much gear for one. Yeah, you don't need as much gear.
Yeah.
As you know, like if you don't need layout boats, you don't need a tending boat, you don't need all
No.
that kind of stuff. All you need is some even just silhouette decoys.
Right.
But don't place them too close to the edge of the field. You know, try and
Yeah.
get yourself covered up maybe in just laying down.
Right.
'Cause they tend to shy away from, you know, as you get close to the wood line and that.
Yes.
But anyway, I recall there were 3 of us hunting geese. This is probably 10 years ago or longer. And as happens from time to time, at the end of the hunt, we had done really well. And the 2 guys I was hunting with says, well, you want the geese? And I said, you don't want them? Oh, no, they're too much work.
Yeah.
So brought a bunch of geese home, you know. And I've fucked them. And that's best done outside on a windy day.
Yeah, right.
and they were in the house. Because any kind of waterfowl, you know,
Oh, boy,
that
especially
downy
geese.
feathers are, you know. And then roasted one whole and learned right away that roasting a whole wild goose,
It's not the
the
thing to do.
breast meat turns out fine, but the legs are really, really tough. So
Yeah.
the best way is the way Hank explains in the recipe, and I won't go into great detail because it's a long article with all different kinds of goose recipes.
Good.
But essentially, it's like a duck. If you take the breast off with the skin on and sear it in the pan, or grill it, kind of like a London broil is how he describes it.
Mhm.
You know, you want it medium rare in the middle, and you want it, you know, that fat rendered on the skin side. You want to score the skin a little bit, and then finish it off on the side that does not have the skin. With a goose, though, you know, it's bigger than a duck breast, so you may want to finish it off in the oven in a cast iron pan or something like that. But it is really good that way. It is not unlike a steak.
Yeah.
and then the legs, pop them in your Dutch oven with some root vegetables and maybe a little bit of tomato paste and chicken stock, and let it slow cook for several hours, and that's an amazing dish as well, because then it's just fall off the bone tender and very rich.
It's amazing
Very
when
rich
you
and
do
not at
that
all-
slow and low. It really tenderizes.
Even a crock pot. I've done them in
Yeah.
a crock pot.
Yeah, anything
before.
like
Oh, sure.
that. Slow.
Yeah, try
Yeah,
it.
they're pretty
Slow,
easy.
yeah, slow and
It-
low. So, okay.
And that's nice too, because it's very difficult to burn something in a crock pot, Joe.
Oh,
Very difficult.
yeah, right.
Joe just
Oh,
said,
wait a
"Here,
minute,
hold my
Did you
coffee."
direct that to Joe?
It might be difficult,
That's
but
not
I bet you I could
that's-
do it.
I bet you've done it
That's
before.
not a challenge,
haven't.
Joe.
I don't
Not a
use slow
challenge.
cook. Yeah. All right. Well, we'll talk to you later with some good
thinks,
news.
Joe thinks 10 minutes in the Instapot is slow cooking.
Yeah, it took over.
Hey,
It's over 2
that'd be
minutes.
another great tool to use, though. Yeah.
You got it. All right. We'll talk to you in a little bit.
All right,
All
guys.
right. Okay. And we
Talk to
got
you
we got Tim calling from Iowa.
Cool.
He's out there.
Highway.
Tim Sorowski's out there hunting, I'm sure. So we'll get to him when we come back. We'll take a short break and we'll return.
If you troll for walleye, steelhead, or even salmon, you need to check out Castaway's Magnetic Divers. The release is magnetic, so if it trips accidentally, no need to retrieve it. Simply give the line slack, it sinks and resets itself automatically. When fishing is slow, trip the diver when trolling. It will come up through the water column and very often trigger a strike because you are now covering different depths. It can be set to go off to the right, left, or straight behind the boat. It comes in 3 sizes and different colors. Why not try one today? You can order them online at castaway.com. That's castaway.com with a K. You will not only improve your fishing success, but will make trolling fun again because of no more retrieving after a false release. That's Castaway's Magnetic Diver at www.castaway.com with a K.
Thanks for listening to the Inside the Great Outdoors podcast. If you have any questions, comments, or stories you'd like to share, shoot us an email at jcoulis@castaway.com. That's Castaway with a K. We'll share your comments with our audience on the following week's show. Thanks again for listening to Inside the Great Outdoors.
I've got to have a chance.
Welcome back. Listening to Inside the Great Outdoors. How's Tim doing in Iowa?
Tim is doing fantastic. How are you guys doing back in Cleveland?
Good. It's a rainy
It's
day.
wet
Gonna rain
as heck
all day.
outside.
All day rain.
Well, it's drizzling rain here a little bit, and
Is it?
it's about 48 degrees.
Ooh.
And we're doing a little scouting right now because we can't hunt till 8 o'clock this morning. That's the
Really?
legal time. 8 a.m. Yeah.
Wow, that's interesting.
Yeah,
So,
you're in Central Time, so it's 7:34 right now for where you're at, right?
Correct. That is correct.
Oh.
You still got
And
25
we're
minutes.
we're in the central part of Iowa, and
How does
about
it look?
99 it looks good. 99% of the crops are out. They're all been harvested,
Mm-hmm.
and we had rain coming in yesterday. We arrived yesterday about 4:30, which was a blessing because it keeps the roads from a lot of dust. So
Oh.
we can go a little bit. We get a little muddy, but hey, I'd rather have the mud than the dust.
Yeah.
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 And we're just waiting upon the golden 8 o'clock hour.
Hmm. So is it all pheasant or anything else?
Well, if we're fortunate, we'll find a Hungarian partridge or two, but the central part basically is pheasant. Yeah, there's very little to no quail.
What's the limit?
Mm.
We're allowed 3 birds per person,
Okay.
and you're allowed 3 birds per day, and you're allowed 12 birds per possession.
Oh,
So 4 day
good.
limit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So you think you'll do pretty good?
Well, it's going to be a little tough right now. The area we're in is pretty thick. The CRP is about 6 foot tall,
Ooh.
so we're going to try to work around it. And
Well, you got
and
a
it's-
dog, don't you? You have a dog.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
we have 2 of them. I have
Oh,
my short
great.
hair.
Yeah.
And,
Yeah.
my buddy has a black lab.
Oh, you got a brush buster and a
A
pointer.
flusher and
Yeah,
a
pointer.
That's
pointer.
you'll be in good shape.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, we should be in good shape. And we come out for the outdoors experience anyway. You know,
Oh,
we shoot a
yeah.
bird
Oh,
and
yeah. Oh, but
it's a bonus.
it's almost like reminiscing of what we used to have here.
How's that mud in Iowa compared to like the Dakotas? It's so slippery in the Dakotas, at least South Dakota.
Mm.
That mud is just slipperier than heck. Is it really a slippery mud out there in Iowa?
It's pretty much identical. As a
Oh,
matter
really?
of fact, we came up a B road to get to where we are, but it has some gravel on it. So
Oh,
it
okay.
was an old homestead area. But yeah, we will not attempt the B roads because that mud is so sticky, it clogs up your tires,
Yeah.
and you're done. You got slick, and
Yeah.
you're going nowhere.
Hmm.
Yeah. So what we'll have to do is a little bit more walking, and or we'll do a little bit of driving around and hunt some ditches.
Yeah.
That's fun.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
Just along the road.
Drive along and see them, and then just pull over and work the ditch, go back, work
Right.
the ditch, and did that in Montana a lot.
Yeah, but it's the second week of the season, and these roosters know that when the vehicle pulls over, they don't hang around. They get out there.
They put on their track shoes, you know,
Yeah.
and away they go.
Wow. Good.
They do.
Well, hopefully you'll
Hey,
have a
have
good.
fun, Tim.
Yeah, enjoy yourself.
Yep.
We will. We will. You guys have fun too.
You got it.
And the Browns are going to tie today.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
That's it. Exactly.
All right.
See ya.
See you, buddy.
We'll talk to you.
Take care, Tim.
But we'll see it.
Yeah, that was Tim out from Swarovski. He lives just right in Solon, right near me.
He's
Works at Tractor Supply now.
he's out in Iowa on a pheasant trip,
Yeah,
or it's
with dogs, that's the only way.
bird hunting trip.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
it,
that's-
You
Pheasant
know,
fun.
you would think big fat tires would be good on that mud.
yeah.
No.
The Indians say that's the worst thing you could do out there. They have skinny, bald tires. They say it works better in the mud than the big fat tires.
Yeah.
You know, you would think that, you know,
Ooh, he called
I
it a
don't
B road. What's that mean?
I think
That-
unpaved,
unpaved roads.
Oh, okay.
like a dirt road.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Huh.
That is
Interesting.
the slipperiest mud I've ever been on, you know.
Yeah. Is it that red mud or not?
It's not
No.
the red. It's a
No.
it's a
Grayish brownish.
grayish
Oh.
brown type mud.
Yeah.
It's a mess though.
The red mud's down in Georgia.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, right. Yeah, that's right. Yeah. Huh. Interesting. Yeah, but it looks like it's going to rain, but we need it here. So, but looking at the map, we could be getting snow the week of Thanksgiving.
Let's hope.
That's going to be the temperature drops where it'll
Oh,
be.
speaking of snow,
Oh, wait a minute. I want to get my
Uh-oh.
camera going here
I got
because
something
Doc,
for Carl
Doc
too.
did some buying of stuff,
Uh-oh.
bought something. So
Nice.
I go ahead. What do we got here?
Oh, now for Carl.
Wait a minute. Okay.
Carl gets a little magazine here.
Nice.
Here you go,
Icebreakers.
Carl. Icebreakers for Carl. There you go, Carl.
Thank you, sir. There's all the cool stuff in it for the season. I hope we get ice this year.
Well,
And I hope we get enough ice for me to walk
that's
on.
a harbinger
It's
of
like-
things to come, Carl.
Yep. Ice Angler's equipment checklists. Wow, look at all that. Ooh. Yep.
Got him all excited
Yeah.
now. Oh boy.
I'm looking for a new ice fishing suit, so I got Striker has one, a Hardwater Series Striker suit, the jacket and the bibs. I think they float too. So that's what I want more of it for the safety aspect of it. And
good idea.
Being
So you really have to contend because of your weight.
hey.
No,
Pick
not
on
in
the
a
fat
detrimental way, but you just
I
have
know.
to watch, right, a little bit
Well,
more. I mean,
Yeah,
safety-wise.
Safety-wise,
then,
it's
yeah.
Not
there's
his weight, it's his
was-
size. He's a big guy.
I'm a
Yeah.
large person with, I've got neuropathy in my legs and balance.
But
and
isn't-
all of that
isn't-
stuff? So I got.
But isn't your big feet good because
yeah.
it displaces the weight, evens it,
a little bit?
Little bit.
Mm-hmm.
Huh. Interesting.
My giant feet.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay, now this is for Joe. Joe's always wanting to poach eggs.
Uh-oh. He's got one.
This is
He's
an
a poacher.
egg poacher.
I'm calling 1-800-POACHER.
There you go, Joe.
Oh, I do. I really do.
This really works. I bought
Does it?
myself one, and it really works.
I wanted
But
to make them,
I
and
will tell you how to work this thing. It's really simple. It's very, very simple. And you can make hot dogs in this, too.
Oh, but actually, it is something that I wanted to be able to learn how to make, or wanted to do it with,
You can just take that poached egg and put it on a piece of toast, and
Yeah.
there you go. You can make 2 eggs at a time. there.
Ooh, good day. Thank you very much.
Very easy. I'll tell you how to do it,
Yeah.
at least the way I do it
Yeah.
in there. You can follow the directions, but I think it's a little, they get a little over
me see it.
poached.
Let me see the poacher. Huh.
Works really good.
Oh. He's got instructions written on it. There you go.
Okay.
Yeah.
Cam, spray light, inside.
Oh, good. Well, we got to get a call in here I want to get to. So
Okay.
good.
You can get a
Okay.
call in.
All righty.
Well, you
And let's go to Joan. How's it going, Joan?
Hi, Joan.
Hey, is it Christmas at the studio?
Yep.
Kinda. A little bit here.
Yep.
Anyway, good morning, everybody. I just wanted to wish all the veterans happy Veterans
Oh,
Day.
We were
very
going to
good
get
idea.
at that at the end.
Yes.
It's Veterans Weekend,
Carl, who
actually.
made phones for us.
Yep.
Yes.
You've got mail. But anyway, happy Veterans Day to everybody. And when Carl told that story about he found the cord 10 years later, he said the word ranger in the story. My father was a ranger in the South Pacific during the World War II.
Oh,
And
wow.
back, and he had 10 children, which I'm one of. I thought, how could a man this kind, this gentle, this sweet and loving be a ranger
Yeah.
in a war? Because he was the nicest guy
Yeah.
I ever wanted to meet. So happy Veterans Day to my father. That
What
died.
was it like growing up with 10 brothers and sisters?
It was great.
Was it?
Yeah.
That's one of the stories I'm going to tell you, because I think instead of this nonprofit, I should go into a tell stories business, because I love to tell stories.
Oh, good.
Anyway, so here's the 2 funny ones about my dad. First of all, he loved to make breakfast. So here's one with the 10 kids. He'd say, 2 eggs, any style, any style. And whoever was the first one in the kitchen, that's what he'd be cooking. No, she wanted them over easy. We're having
Ah,
today.
yeah.
And then the next day, they said, I want an omelet. We're having omelets today. But he did it every single day. And we had one of those egg poachers. Okay, but anyway, the other funny one was this. He was the youngest of 5 sisters. Then he ended up having 6 daughters. So
Wow.
he never had to cook, Joe.
Oh.
Mother and his sisters, they took care of the kitchen. And then with the daughters and his wife, he didn't. So then my mother dies, right? And he's in his late 70s. And we get these phone calls. Joni, how long do you roast a chicken? So I'd say, well, it depends on the size of the chicken. Oh, what temperature do you put that in? And it was so cute. But the other funny one was every Thanksgiving, he'd take out the meat grinder. Anybody got one of those?
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah. The handheld meat grinder.
Big, heavy steel.
You screw it to the table.
And
Yeah.
he'd say to mother, Pat, we're making cranberry sauce.
Oh,
My God, he's making cranberry sauce.
I love
So-
cranberry sauce.
So he'd put the thing in. He didn't know what he was doing. There'd be cranberries on the ceiling, the chairs, the kids would all be laughing. Their faces would be red. And then my mother would say, "Is there any for the table, or do we have to scrape it off the chair?"
Very good.
Great guy, and there's a lot of great veterans out there.
Oh,
Good.
yeah.
Happy
Good.
Veterans Day to all of you.
Yep.
I'll
And
tell
the
you,
last
never stirred the bean soup with the electric trolling motor.
Yeah. Well, I got to tell the doctor something. My dog I talked to you about did pass away. So I was
Oh,
crying
that's too
like I
bad.
never
Sorry to
cried
hear that.
before. I mean, you cry like it comes out of the pit of hell.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I said, I could either sit here and keep crying or go get another dog. So I got a dog doctor, and they think it's a bloodhound.
Oh,
So I said, it's time to get a bigger couch.
yeah.
There you go. Good. So nice to hear from you.
Have a good day.
You too.
We'll
Thanks,
see you.
Joe.
We'll see you,
Bye-bye.
Jones.
Keep up the
Bye-bye.
happy, good stories.
Yep.
You got it.
Everybody else
All
out
right.
there,
You got
good
it.
Stories are
Yeah.
nuts. All right, bye.
You got
See
it.
you, Joe.
Okay, well, we got to take a break because we got the dock exchange. What are we going to learn?
A little bit about cold water boating.
Ooh, that's coming up. Good idea. We'll take a break and be back.
Timely.
I'm not feeling too good, little girl.
Do you enjoy a good story about hunting or fishing? Then you need to get your hands on Tales from the Trails, the real-life adventures of Castaway Coulis. Take a journey around the world with Joe as he recounts some of his best hunting and fishing trips, from Africa to Alaska, from behind the Iron Curtain to Australia. You can share in his memories through the book, complete with pictures to take you on the journey. It's a trip back in time looking through the eyes of an outdoors legend. Order your copy today on Amazon or at castaway.com. That's castaway with a K.com. Thanks for listening to the Inside the Great Outdoors podcast. If you have any questions, comments, or stories you'd like to share, shoot us an email at jcoulis@castaway.com. That's Castaway with a K. We'll share your comments with our audience on the following week's show. Thanks again for listening to Inside the Great Outdoors.
I'm not the one who's so far away when I feel the snake bite and tear my veins. Never did I wanna be here again, and I don't remember why I came.
Welcome back. I don't know, Doc, where you find this music.
There's your drums, though.
Oh, yeah.
Some tom-toms in the background.
Yeah.
I'd like to have tom-toms. Anyways, go ahead.
Okay. Here along the shore of Lake Erie, any day can bring sunshine, rain, sleet, even snow. Remember, water can be lethally cold. Paddlers like kayakers, canoers, motorboat operators, as Carl was discussing earlier, jet skiers, beware. Wear a life jacket. That's really important.
And there's some really easy, not
Easy,
bulky
nice,
ones
light,
now.
Light jackets for $80. You can get yourself a super nice life jacket that is not going to impair your movement at
Right.
all.
The old ones did.
The old ones did. Now, heat loss will rapidly impair your finger use. You know, thus it makes it difficult to put on and adjust and attach your life jacket. So wear the darn thing. You know, I put my life jacket on in my driveway when I leave to go fishing. Dress for the water temperature and not so much for the wind and the air temperature. If you fall in the water, you immediately feel like you're standing naked in a 30-degree type of weather. Cold
There you go, Ted.
Your whole body, Ted. Cold water robs your body temperature 25 to 30 times faster than the air. If you fall overboard, your body temperature drops rapidly within 10 minutes. And the water doesn't have to be icy, just colder than the victim to cause what we call hypothermia. That's lowering your body temperature. When one falls in the water, our body first response is really to gasp for air, but you will more than likely gulp water, and that starts you on the path to drowning. Of course, by this stage of the game, we all know, don't drink any alcohol if you're out there boating. First, it's illegal to do, and it also accelerates hypothermia by expanding or dilating your blood vessels. This makes you colder. Always be ready. Semper Paratus. That's the old Coast Guard motto. You know, have a VHF marine radio, even if you buy one of these little handheld ones. I've had one of those for years. Finally gave up the ship last year, but I had one for about 20 years. Or a cell phone if you don't have a radio. It's second best. A float plan is really great. You know, give it to your wife or a good friend. Maybe not your wife. A PLB or a personal locator beacon is nice to have. It enhances your chance of being rescued. A GPS is always of value. You know, remember the rules of the road when you're out there. You know, look for other big boats, especially these big freighters and stuff. They generate huge waves, and they'll swamp a boat 100 yards away. You know, look out for dead heads and things like nets and stuff. Avoid excess speed, especially if you're out there at night, and have some good lights on your boat. Beware of dangerous weather conditions, which we know change rapidly on the Great Lakes. Many boat captains of the Great Lakes consider Erie the trickiest of all the lakes, claiming over 4,000 ships. Even when compared to the death door of Lake Michigan, the waves of the Great Lakes crest at a sharper angle than ocean waves, with less density, and they kind of carry, and it causes the waves to jump and tumble rather than roll and swell. Wave frequency is greater. That means the waves are closer apart, and they come faster at you. Okay, I've scared you. You've almost drowned, and now the weather and the waves, you know, you've had enough. You're going to put your boat away. Wow. Here's some tips on putting your boat away. I think we got enough time.
Yeah, 4 minutes.
Okay. If you have a canoe or a small 14-foot aluminum boat, just turn it over. You're done. Start your engine. Make sure you get all the water out of your lower unit. Fill the gas tank, high test, use a stabilizer, Sta-Bil or Starbright or Startron. Any of those work pretty well. Change the lower unit fluids or have your dealer do that, especially with a lot of these newer engines. I'm not familiar with these newer ones. I just have a bunch of old engines. Spray the electrical connections for your trailer and in your boat. I like to use Real Magic. That stuff really works good, I think, at least. Spray any of your connections that could get rusty, like your trailer jacks and stuff with an oil-based spray like Prolong. Remove the drain plug, of course. Take all the junk out of your boat. Elevate the bow of your boat. Clean and grease your wheel bearings. If you have some old tires and tire rims, put those on and put your newer tires in a couple plastic bags and store them in the garage. I always Vaseline the snaps on the canvas covers. I put some rodent poison or peppermint repellent in the boat before I shrink wrap it. There's a lot of good places that shrink wrap the boat. One other thing, if you're still using your boat and using these ramps at this time of the year, carry some kitty litter with you, and when you take that boat out of the water, again, start it up, blow that lower unit out. You know, you don't want any water in your lower unit. That'll freeze up and crack your lower unit.
Very good.
Did I do it?
You did it.
Done
I
it.
did it.
Good. And I can get in here.
Anything to add, Carl?
Yes,
Nope.
I do. Michael Bray sent a manual inflatable belt pack
Mhm.
as a Coast Guard approved. Now that would be easy to
PFD.
wear as a life jacket. And then he also has another that one is $70. Then there's another EYSO, an Ison inflatable jacket at $65. But it's like
Around your neck.
it just goes around your neck. It's thin. It's not like the old ones that were so bulky
Yeah.
and all of that. So yeah,
Well, they
it's
got a
so-
lot of devices. Any type of thing
Yeah.
that it's
and
a life
you put it
preserver
on and
type
you don't
thing.
know you have
Right.
it. It doesn't restrict fishing or any of the other stuff. So
Wear something.
yeah,
You know?
okay. Well, in that we got to take a break. You're listening to Inside the Great Outdoors in the final hour of the show. So hang in there because we'll
Boy.
be right back.
2 hours went by quick.
Yep, always does.
Big on the back of Bud's rig. They're from Prince Edward Island. They're from Prince Edward Island. Now from Charlottetown or from Summerside, they load him down for the big long ride. He jumps in the cab and he's off with the Pride Sebagos. He's got to catch the boat to make Clementine, and he hits up that old New Brunswick line. To Montreal he comes just a-flying with another big load of potatoes. It's Bud the Spud from the bright red mud, rolling down the highway smiling. The Spuds are big on the back of Bud's rig. They're from Prince Edward Island. They're from Prince Edward Island. Now the Ontario Provincial Police don't think much of Bud. Yeah, the cops have been looking for the son of a gun that's been ripping the tire off the 401. They know the name on the truck shines up in the sun. Green Gables. But he hits Toronto and at 7 o'clock when he backs her up again the terminal dock, and the boys gather round just to hear him talk about another big load of potatoes. It's Bud the Spud from the bright red mud, rolling down the highway smiling. The Spuds are big on the back of Bud's rig. They're from Prince Edward Island. They're from Prince